Part two, I guess. As soon as I tried to get into the OTR tool, it didn't allow me to record. But I'm trying now. So I've got split screens on my Galaxy Fold, so let's see. It may not do it while I have the camera on. All right, looks like it's connecting now. You do all this stuff Bluetooth wirelessly, so I guess I had to stand right next to the truck for it to work. All right, 74%. I got one active code. Let's go ahead and kick off a regen, force regen. It asks a series of questions. Start. Now, and I'm gonna leave that panel off because I got zip ties that are not high temp under there. And I put wire under there that isn't probably high temp either. And I got black tape because I don't have solder or a soldering gun out here. Which I think I'm gonna change that. I think I'm gonna carry me a soldering gun in my truck. But for now, we're gonna keep the panel off so that some of that heat can flow right out the side there. And we're gonna let it do a regen. Get that damn high soot level off of there. But that's some of the trials and tribulations of being an owner op. You say you're owner op, yeah, but I'm leased on. You wanna know who I'm leased on to? I'll show you. You've probably seen it already. Yeah. Safety scores for shit, but you can make it work. And they ain't holding your motherfucking hand either. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. A lot of people ask about coming over here. Yeah, but they ain't holding your hand. It's more of being an owner op than I've ever been before. Before here, I was with Landstar. They hold your hand a lot. Oh, do they hold your hand? They call you and tell you what to do and when to do it and all this. Hell, shit, I didn't even realize I needed to do a DOT physical until the license branch was talking about taking the license. And I'm like, oh shit, nobody to remind me. So yeah, and a lot of other things they don't talk about too. I mean, they ain't, man, listen here. You are a one-man army when you come over here. For everything. And they do pay daily. I mean, if you have a load that delivers every day, but you get 50% up front and then you get the other half when you get done immediately. You can negotiate rates or you can do the click and go. Your choice. Some brokers will mess with you, some brokers won't. They tell me, the ones that don't, that too many drivers with the company like to cancel loads. So I try my best not to do that. I got a load picking up here in Orlando, and once this problem began and I wasn't able to figure it out fast enough, I was thinking, damn, I'm gonna have to cancel a load. We're gonna have another bad mark. But, you know, I believe in a higher power. And that higher power gives me some common sense to figure some things out. And it ain't so common because a lot of people won't mess with wires. Wires are very intimidating to me still, and they're very intimidating to people who never messed with them before. The last thing you want to do is blow something up. What I mean by that is like burn up your ECM or ECU, or I did that to my APU. Now my HVAC doesn't work, but I do have electricity, so I can run it and keep the engine warm, and I can power all of my little things through an inverter. because the batteries stay charged. But as far as heating and cooling, nope. I burnt the CCU up. That's going to be about 600 to 800. We'll get around to it because it's starting to get cold. But yeah, man, comes to the wires on the DPF SCR wiring harness, those are intimidating. But what I like to do is I look at the harness for cracks, breaks. Once I find that, you know, you start messing with it and you'll get a response or you won't. And then I like to go to the connector. The connector is always dry rotted. As soon as you try to pull it apart, it doesn't pull apart. As soon as you put like a tiny little screwdriver in there to try to release the little levers, oh, it just crumbles in your hand. Now you're really up shit's creek. And yeah, welcome to owner-op life. So what I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get the solder and the flux and I got the heat shrink and I got all of that stuff. And I'm gonna sit there like a mad scientist. And it's really just one wire, but the second wire I mentioned before, it does have like a small, like you can see the wire through its wire cover. So I could just put black tape over it, or I could, it's hard to put a heat shrink over it because heat shrinks usually go on before you start connecting wires. So I'll figure something out, and then I'll put that aluminum heat shield stuff over the wires. And I got those high temp zip ties. I'll put those back on there, and that should be okay for a short while. You know, these things are supposed to do active regen while you're driving, or passive rather. And with a 74% soot level since yesterday, when I was at 21, it's obvious that it's not doing that. Plus, I didn't like the high idle. So I think we're good now. This is my video that I haven't given you in a while. So for some of you new subscribers, yeah, it's real. It's gonna do this for a while, so we ain't gonna sit here for a while doing it. But before I go, I never showed you how I ended up fixing the battery cable that snapped off in Texas last time I was down there out the fucking blue. All power from the truck just cut off, and I had to coast over to the shoulder at night in Texas. Very dangerous. As soon as that fan cuts off, I'll go over and show you. This will be quick too, because these videos are getting long. There's the new connection. All I did was cut it. I got a bunch of these little copper doohickeys. I'm not even sure what the hell they're called. I got a case, 2 cases of them. But I did have to order this little tool. It's a little crimp tool to crimp those little copper pieces on. And it made the job very easy, because before then I was hitting them with a hammer trying to get them on there. That cable's pretty damn thick, so it wasn't working out. But once I put that crimp tool to it, put the little copper piece on there, oh man, it was tight, just like brand new. And I went on ahead and reconnected it to where it goes, and look at that smoke. And I went on ahead and reconnected it to where it goes, and I haven't had any issues with it since. So that kind of built my confidence up to start messing with the wiring. I would have showed you the headlights, but who wants to get all up under the hood with all that heat and the fan flying and all that to show you that? All I did with that is I took the little plastic cover that covers the wires, found it. It was completely split, like it had a surge, and then it just kind of popped in one section. So I just cut it, and then they've got these little plastic little pieces that have metal in between. and you slide a wire on one side, crimp it, slide the wire on the other side, crimp it. So that's what I did. I did that, taped it, put the little thing back over it, the little plastic sheathing, and headlight works now. So anyway, that's how it's going for me. And I will talk to you.